Okay, so good day to everyone. Um, this will be a series of video lecture on poultry production. So I've decided to make video lectures since I have a travel this first week of March. So in order to save time and in order for us not to waste um, our time for discussion, I have decided to make video lectures so that um, we are still on schedule based on the syllabus. So um, please bear with me. I know it is much better for me to actually discuss it in person, but since we do not have any choice, or I do not have any choice, then I need to discuss it using video lecture or and other mode of delivery. So again, like what I've said, I will be discussing on poultry production, but we still have some topics left for swine production, but it will be in person. I've decided it will be in person so that I can properly discuss the topics, especially since we will talk about the care and management of piglets. So I want to discuss it more in detail. So anyway, in poultry production, we have different fields or what we call as, let's just say, sub-industry within the poultry industry. So when we say field, the main fields actually are three. We have the layer production or layer farm, the broiler farm or the broiler production, and the breeding farm. And then we also have the supplementary industries that without these supplementary industries, hindi um, magiging viable yung ating poultry farm or itong poultry industry. Okay? So yung first one actually is what we call as breeding farm. So hindi ba kayo nagtataka why or saan ba galing yung mga chicks? Saan ba galing yung mga broiler chicks? Saan ba galing yung mga um, quails natin? Hindi naman magically nag-a-appear na lang sila. So actually they are from the breeding farm. So, yung main goal kasi ng breeding farm is to produce high quality parent stocks. So, itong mga parent stocks na ito, basically, these are parents. So, sila yung mag-produce ng mga offspring. Basically, yung ating mga eggs, fertile eggs. Tapos, pag in-incubate natin, mag-hatch into a chick, a duckling, a quail. So, yun yung mga yun. So, these stocks will in turn lay fertilized eggs for incubation. So the main focus ng breeding farm is to maintain superior genetics for broiler or layer production. So alam naman natin na in order for the farm to be productive, aside from proper management, aside from providing them suitable environment, is yung genetics. So wala rin mangyayari kahit maganda yung nutrition, maganda yung environment, if hindi maganda yung genetics. So one factor on a successful poultry farm is actually a good quality stocks. Mga magagandang chickens, magagandang chicks. So saan galing yon? Dito sa breeding farm. To reproduce ng mga parent stocks na magaganda din yung genetics. Okay? Mga superior yung genetics nila. Okay? So, ano yung advantage? So, yung advantage, high demand for quality breeding stock in the poultry industry. Kaya nga, ano to, hindi ito mawawala, kumbaga. Kasi without the breeding farm, then walang stocks ng ating mga layer at saka mga broiler farm natin. Aside from that, potentially higher profitability than commercial poultry farming due to premium pricing of breeder stock. Siyempre, since these are breeder stock, they demand a higher price compared sa mga broilers natin, yung mga pangkatay talaga. Kasi nga breeders sila. So, basically, mas mahal yung pagbebenta, mas mahal yung value nitong mga breeders natin compared doon sa mga layers or broilers natin. So, long-term sustainability if genetic improvements are consistent. Hindi yan mawawala as long as you know what you are doing, as long as you have the technical knowledge when it comes to breeding, then you can maintain yung good genetic quality ng mga breeders mo. And if you can maintain that, then there's long-term sustainability. Okay? When it comes to disadvantage naman, it requires higher capital. Kaya nga hindi siya recommended actually for ordinary farmers who wants to go to poultry farming. Kasi nga it requires high capital investment. Usually yung mga breeder farms lang natin, yung mga nagpuput up lang ng mga breeder farms natin, breeding farms natin ay yung mga malalaking company. Since it requires high capital investment for the genetics, to maintain the genetics, to maintain biosecurity, and kumbaga yung breeding farm natin, hindi siya yung typical na housing for broiler farm or layer farm, specialized yung housing. So kung makikita dito sa picture, may mga nest sila. Usually ganyan yung setup sa isang breeder farm. Okay? And then it needs strict biosecurity measures to prevent disease transmission since these are high quality product, high quality na mga animals, high valued animals. Medyo masakit sa bulsa pag nagkasakit yung isa, namatay, and then alam naman natin yung disadvantage when it comes to um, poultry farming. Medyo talagang dikit-dikit sila. So, mabilis yung disease transmission. So, kung nagkasakit yung isa, almost for certain, magkakasakit yung isa, and it can lead to outbreak and worst case scenario, mamamatay. So, masakit. Masakit sa'yo since high valued itong mga breeders mo. So, you need strict biosecurity measures. Then, ang last, it requires technical expertise in breeding selection, artificial insemination, and hatchery management. Again, yung sinabi ko nga, hindi ito basically for ordinary farmers. So you need technical knowledge, sufficient knowledge in order for it to succeed, especially on breeding selection, artificial insemination, and hatchery management. Okay, so when it comes to the factors to consider on a breeding farm, you need to consider the genetics and selection. So you need to choose breeds with superior productivity, disease resistance, and adaptability. So in common sense na rin naman, hindi ka naman pipili ng mga breeders mo that are not superior, that are not productive, or basically hindi maganda yung genes. Okay? And then aside from that, again, yung biosecurity and disease management, you need to implement stringent or strict hygiene measures to prevent disease outbreaks. And then for the market demand and contracts, basically since this is also a specialized field, hindi naman ordinary na consumers yung bibili. So you need to secure buyers for the breeding stocks. So saan mo ba ibebenta itong mga breeders mo? Or itong mga products ng itong product ng breeding farm mo. Yung pagbebentahan mo actually is yung mga hatcheries that they will be the one to incubate yung fertile eggs na na-produce mo, integrators or independent farmers. Mga independent farmers basically again yung mga may kaya or merong capital investment and technical knowledge. So hindi mo siya ibebenta directly to the consumer. Then, infrastructure investment, you need adequate housing, adequate lighting, and feeding system tailored specifically for our breeders. Iba kasi yung equipment, iba kasi naman yung infrastructure that a broiler farm needs compared sa breeding farm. So, again, kakaiba kumbaga itong breeding farm natin. Hindi siya yung typical na nakikita ninyo sa mga usually baka or wala dito sa Ilocos Norte itong breeding farm na to. Mostly mga layer farm and broiler farm lang yung nakikita. So, specialized housing and facilities yung kailangan. Okay? So, yan. Then for the egg layer farm, this is another parang field, specialized field in poultry production. So, when we say egg layer farm, alam naman na natin, nasa pangalan na egg yung pinoproduce. So, kung sa breeder farm, fertile egg yung pinoproduce. Parehas silang egg actually. Yung breeder farm, yung egg layer farm, egg. Pero yung pagkakaiba sa breeder farms, you are maintaining parent stocks, you are maintaining breeders, and you are producing fertile eggs. For egg layer farm, you are actually raising layer chickens or mga quails natin, basta mga layers natin, and you are producing what we call as table eggs. Ano naman yung table eggs? So when we say table eggs, these are infertile or basta walang semilya or walang na mabubuong embryo, mabubuong chicks or mabubuong um, animal doon sa kanyang kanyang sa egg mismo. So these are infertile, so they are fit for human consumption or um, eggs that are usually for human consumption. So, ang tanong, pwede ba na fertile egg yung i-consume ng human? Pwede. Okay, pwede naman. Pero yung problema kasi, it can cause a lot for you to breed yung mga poultry species mo tapos para makaproduce ng fertile eggs tapos kakainin lang ng mga consumers. So parang um, nasasayang lang yung cost and labor sa pag-breed sa kanila to produce fertile eggs tapos kakainin lang. So yung mas cost-effective way is to produce eggs na infertile na para wala na yung breeding, wala na yung pag-maintain ng mga breeders, pag make sure na fertile yung egg. Wala na yung mga yun. Basta mangingitlog at mangingitlog lang yung mga natin, poultries natin. So, ang kasi ng mga poultries natin, like for example, chicken, um, let's just say around 26 hours na nakakapag-produce. Like for example, sa chicken, 26 hours na bago makaproduce ng isang itlog. So, tapos after that, magbubuo ulit ng itlog, then mangingitlog ulit, and so on and so forth. Even without even without the presence of a male or even without the presence ng sperm cell doon sa reproductive tract, magproproduce pa rin yan ng egg. So, infertile nga lang. Pero yun nga, yung point ng egg layer farm. You are producing table eggs fit for human consumption. Kaya tinawag na table eggs. So, layers are often raised in cages under controlled environment to maximize production efficiency. So, yun naman yung parang ng um, layers. They are actually raised in cages, usually to limit their movement. So, remember this na ang pag-produce ng egg, usually it requires energy naman. Lahat naman, actually. Pero in the case of egg kasi, kailangan talaga ng energy to produce itong egg natin or to make this egg. So, ang purpose ng kung bakit naka-cage usually yung mga ating mga layer, one is that para hindi nila maapak-apakan yung mga itlog in order to safeguard yung quality ng eggs na na-produce kasi kung um, nakalabas tong mga layers natin, high chance maapakan nila yung itlog and then it can crack. So, sayang yun. Okay? So, another one is to maintain cleanliness ng itlog. Kasi kung titignan dito sa picture, nagro-roll kasi yung itlog from their cage papunta dito sa parang tray, kung parang conveyor belt kumbaga. Ah, para malinis pa rin to maintain cleanliness ng itlog. Kasi magpo-produce ng waste tong mga like for example itong mga quails, magpo-produce ng waste. So kung nasa loob lang, yan, baka maiputan. Okay? So naka-cage para ma-separate yung quail from the egg to protect it from cracking, protect it from damage, and then protect it from waste. And then another parang reason why they are caged is to limit their movement. So by limiting their movement, most of their nutrients actually will go to producing the egg mismo compared to like moving around. Most of the energy that they produce will go into egg production. Uh, um, at hindi sa kung anumang other na activities na ginagawa ng um, poultry natin. So kung malaya sila or they are free to go, nasa free range sila, um, pwede kasi na na-expend yung energy sa paglalakad. Lakad-lakad sila, nagfo-forage sila, so nag-e-expend sila or gumagasto sila ng energy. Pero pag naka-cage kasi sila, hindi na nila magagawa yun. So meaning, most of the stored energy, most of their na-produce na energy coming from their feed, pupunta lahat yan or focus lahat yan mostly sa egg production. And it can increase their productivity. Okay? So yan. Then, advantage ng egg layer farm is steady demand for eggs in the market. So, kasi underrated actually. For me, underrated yung egg na product kasi hindi lang siya for consumption. Ang dami din pag anuan ng eggs. So, it is an ingredient for a lot of food products natin. Yung mga cake na binibili ninyo, galing yan sa dapat may egg para talagang maging cake siya. So, yung mga yun, hindi lang siya for consumption. It is an ingredient to almost ang daming mga food products. So, most predictable cash flow compared to broiler farms since it is a continuous production. Sa broiler kasi, one time, big time, kumbaga. So, nag-produce ka ng broiler, um, yung marketing isahan, especially in all out aspect production. Pero sa ano kasi egg layer farm, kung alam mo yung ano percentage ng ano egg production percentage ng mga ano mo average ng mga layers mo, then alam mo kung ilan yung mabebenta mo, kumbaga yung profit mo within a day, within a week. So mas predictable yung ano yung mga nagagastos and napra-profit mo. And then can utilize value-adding strategies. Yan. Kaya nga sinabi kong underrated siya. Kasi aside from being a pure table egg na kinukonsume mo, you can value add. When we say value adding kasi, um, yung price niya, like yung nasa name itself, you add value to it. So paano ka ba mag-add ng value? Usually you process it. Like for example, yung mga ducks natin, yung mga itik natin. So you can eat it directly, you can consume it directly, pero you can process it into salted eggs, balut, pasteurized liquid eggs, kung ano man yung naisip mo, baka pwedeng i-process, then nag-add ka ng value. Hindi hindi naman ano, baliw ka na kung like for example, 15 pesos yung value ng isang duck egg and then pre-process mo into balut, edi 15 pesos pa rin yung ano mo, yung presyo mo. Then wala ring silbi. So you need to add um ingin-nginang basit you make it more expensive kasi nga pre-process mo. And um, madaming mga way to add value to the egg itself. So, yan yung advantage. And then for disadvantage, longer production cycle, basically yung sinasabi kasi dito, hens will start laying in 18 to 20 weeks and are productive for about 1.5 years. Compared kasi sa broiler, na 21 days lang pwede nang i-market. If you start from a day-old chick, you need to wait to around 18 weeks before the hen will start to lay eggs. So medyo matagal. And then high feed costs as layers require balanced nutrition for continuous laying. So especially mararamdaman mo na nangina talaga or mahal na talaga yung fees pag madami yung pinapakain mo. Then disease outbreak katulad ng sa breeders natin, can also significantly impact yung productivity ng farm. So those are the disadvantage. When it comes to the factors to consider, first, housing system, kasi nga, again, they usually are kept in a uh, cage system. Or you can also do deep litter system or free range system, depende kung anong type ng breed ng chicken yan, or breed ng duck, breed ng quail. And then feed and nutrition, you need to ensure layers receive high protein and calcium rich diet because it is needed in order to produce the egg itself. And it is needed actually to produce quality eggs. And then lighting management, this is very important for layers kasi you need to maintain around 14 to 16 hours of light daily to stimulate egg production. So, meron niyang effect kasi doon sa hypothalamus ng mga chickens natin, and it can release hormones um, that will influence yung egg production. So, yan, kailangan i-maintain yung ganyan. Importante yung lighting system when it comes to egg layer farms. Then market accessibility, you need to identify distribution channels. Saan mo ba ibebenta yung mga itlog, especially since this is almost for certain mga everyday ka makakapag-produce ng egg. May maproproduce ka pa ring egg everyday. So saan mo ilalagay? Saan mo ibebenta? So you cannot afford na i-store sila for a week, for 2 weeks kasi the quality will drop as well as malulugi ka kung ini-store mo ng matagal. So kailangan that you need to identify distribution channels. Then sa broiler farms naman natin, focuses on raising poultry species for meat production. So alam na natin, okay? Sa broiler farm, mga fertile eggs. Sa layer farm, they produce stable egg or yung mga infertile eggs natin for consumption. And for our broiler farm, typically for meat production. Again, ang mga nandito sa picture usually are mga chickens, pero you can actually um, um, when we say broiler, all species, poultry species na nire-raise mo for meat production. Ganon din sa layer, ganon din sa breeder. All poultry species that you are raising to produce egg, that's called a layer. Then pag all poultry species that you are raising to produce, to be kept as breeders, yan yung breeder farm natin. So sa broiler farm naman is meat production. So typically, for a broiler farm, it operates on short production cycle. Bakit? Kasi hindi siya tulad ng layer or sa breeder na hintayin mo muna na mag-mature yung poultry para mangitlog yung poultry para mag-start yung operation mo. Sa kasi sa broiler farm, especially sa mga chickens natin, if you reach that certain market weight na, pwede mo nang ibenta. Hindi mo na siya hintayin na mag-mature, na mag-sexually mature. Hindi na. Bata pa to, ibebenta mo na. Nasa 21 days, kung maganda yung management mo, pwede nang ibenta. Okay? Kaya they operate on short production cycle. Yung advantage, fast turnover, kasi nga, short production cycle, um, typically 3 to 4 weeks, pwede nang ma-reach yung market weight. So, pwede mo nang ibenta. So, aside from that, high demand due to chicken and other poultry meat being a staple protein source. So, almost lahat actually kumakain ng chicken. So, even mga Muslim, yun yung kinakain. So, um, typically sa mga handaan, birthdays, mahilig na makidaya, usually merong kang makikitang putahe na chicken. Okay? So, high demand palagi yung chicken. And it is a cheap source of protein. Cheaper source of protein compared sa, like, for example, beef. Okay? And then can be integrated with contract farming arrangement, reducing market risk. Typically, ganito yung system or ganito yung arrangement sa broiler industry natin. Meron kang malaking company that will go into contract with a farm, a private individual. And yun yung contract growing scheme. Sila yung mga private individuals yung um, mag-aalaga, magpo-provide ng housing, ng labor, basically aalagaan ng maayos yung mga poultries natin. And then yung mga malalaking company na nakipagkontrata, sila naman yung magbibigay ng like for example feeds, yung mga stocks, day old chicks, mga ganun. So merong contract growing scheme. Yun yung usual na ginagawa sa broiler farm. Disadvantage requires large scale production to achieve economies of scale. So, yan. Do not expect na mataas yung profit mo kung nasa 100 heads lang na broiler chicken yung inaalagaan mo. Typically, ano lang yan. Parang, parang ano lang. Yung napagbentahan mo, medyo konti lang yung profit mo compared doon sa compared like for example kung mas madami yung inaalagaan mo. So it requires large scale production talaga. Around 100,000 to fill yung profit. Then fluctuating market prices and production costs, feed prices, chick prices, all of these can influence your profit. It also can influence the productivity. Then, susceptible to disease outbreak, yan yung common theme natin when it comes to disadvantage for almost all of the farms natin. They are susceptible to disease outbreak. Again, pag nagkasakit kasi yung isa, almost for certain magkakasakit lahat. And then factors to consider, housing and ventilation. You need to ensure a controlled environment with good airflow. Kaya nga meron tayong mga tunnel ventilated housing in order for them to control yung ventilation and overall the temperature and ventilation inside the housing. Stocking density, you need to avoid overcrowding to prevent stress and diseases. Typically, yun yung common na kailangan isaalang-alang. The space requirement for the chickens natin. So, baka dahil sa kagustuhan mo na mag-ano ng profit, nag-ano ka na ng madami kang nilagay sa isang housing, hindi mo pala nasunod yung space requirement. Then it can lead to overcrowding, it can lead to cannibalism actually. Biosecurity measures, limit farm access, you need also to sanitize equipment and implement vaccination programs. Then market linkage, partners with processors, live birds market or retailers for stable sales. So typically again, just like that of the layer farm, you need to look or identify mga mga markets natin para ibenta. Kasi again, ano 'yan, by the time na na-reach na nila yung market weight nila, dapat naka-identify ka na. Dapat meron ng bibili. Kasi nga hindi mo naman siya pwedeng i-store katulad ng egg. Pag hindi mo nabenta within this day, kailangan mo pa rin siyang pakainin. Typically, yung sinabi ko noon, yung S growth curve, hindi naman um, hindi naman everyday na pag ganun, pataas palagi yung growth rate ng isang broiler. Merong time na yun, typically around 21 days, na medyo magpla-plateau na, magfla-flat na yung growth rate. Kahit pakainin mo siya ng pakainin, hindi na yan lalaki. Okay? Hindi na yan mabilis lumaki. Okay, yun yung S growth curve na tinatawag. So, merong part talaga nagpla-plateau. Ngayon, since hindi mo siya pwedeng i-store, and kailangan mo pa rin siyang pakainin para hindi mamatay, you are expending money to buy yung feeds nila, tapos hindi yan nako-convert into growth. So, yun yung problema when it comes to broiler farm. You need to identify actually yung market mo as soon as possible in order to ensure na mabebenta mo sila pag uh, uh, when it comes the time na um, na-reach na nila yung market weight nila. Kasi pag hindi, again, malulugi ka. Kasi nga, hindi na yan lalaki, hindi na yan masyadong lalaki, exponentially. Merong time talaga na talagang biglang taas yung growth rate, biglang bilis ng growth nila, pero merong time din na magpla-plateau yung growth rate nila. Or magiging flat na, hindi ka nalalaki. Parang katulad sa'yo, by the time you reach 13 years old, pag 5 feet ka na, ganun, ganun ka na hanggang sa lumaki ka na. Okay? Ganun din sa broiler actually. Merong time na nagpla-plateau or merong time na hindi na ganun kabilis yung growth rate. Okay? So, yan yung factors to consider. Okay, now, so we also have various support services or yung mga complementary industries na tinatawag. So these are yung mga industries or support services in poultry industry that plays an integral or important part on the overall production of our layer, of our broiler and breeding farms. So itong mga support services na to, they provide actually yung input. Ano nga ba yung mga input na kailangan ng mga poultry farms natin for them to become productive? So, yung una is yung feeds. So, hindi naman magically meron ka ng feed. Galing yan sa feed industry. So, yung mga medicines mo actually are also input. So, san ka ba kukuha ng medicines for your chickens, for your ducks? So, meron din yung parang health and yung medicine industry for our veterinary industry for our poultry industry. And then yung mga equipment mo, yung mga feeders, yung mga waters mo, galing lahat yan sa mga complementary services natin. So the first one is yung feed industry natin. So feed production involves formulating and manufacturing high quality balanced feed that meet the nutritional needs of poultry at different growth stages. So yan, sila yung nagfo-formulate ng feed natin. Sila yung um, gumagawa ng mga feeds, ng mga ipapakain natin sa mga poultry species natin. And they make sure na yung ibibigay nila meets the nutrient requirement ng mga poultry species natin. So, it includes the processing of raw materials such as yung corn. Ito yung mga ingredients natin. Corn, soybean meal, fish meal, vitamins and minerals to produce specialized feed types including starter, grower, finisher, and layer feeds. So, basically, prina-process nila. Prina-process nila yung mga raw materials, yung mga raw ingredients to produce itong mga feed natin. So, yung mga feed mills natin or the ones that will actually produce mix yung ating mga ingredients to produce commercial feed needs to ensure na they are consistent when it comes to supplying itong mga hindi lang naman dapat feed latan. Okay? It should be of high quality para ma-meet yung nutrient requirement ng mga poultry species natin because they need yung proper nutrients in order for them to become productive. Then, aside from that, we also have veterinary and biosecurity services. So, these services focus on disease prevention, diagnosis, and treatment to maintain flock health and productivity. Ito yung mga veterinarians natin. Dito sila papasok. Yung mga medicines, vitamin minerals na antibiotics na nilalagay natin sa mga poultry species natin dito sa part na to, dito sa service na to, or dito sa sub-industry na ito. So, veterinary professionals provide vaccination programs, medication, and health management strategies while biosecurity experts implement farm protection measures such as yung mga disinfection protocols, controlled farm access, and pest control. So, yan. So, aside from yung mga medicines, aside from medication, vaccination din dito sa veterinary and biosecurity services. So, remember yung sinabi ko kanina, a common disadvantage nung tatlong farm natin is yung disease. So it is important that we have this veterinary and biosecurity services. And then these services also help to prevent yung spread of mga poultry diseases natin like for example avian influenza, Newcastle disease, and coccidiosis. So without these services, um, walang silbi kahit maganda nutrition, yung nutrition na binibigay mo. Kung hindi maganda yung biosecurity mo, it can also lead to losses. And then we also have yung poultry equipment and infrastructure supply. So ito namang sector na to provides essential equipment for modern poultry farming, including yung incubators, brooders, automatic feeders, drinkers, ventilation systems, and climate-controlled housing. So typically, ito namang services na ito, itong industry na ito, ang binibigay naman or pino-provide na input is yung mga equipment natin. Aside from yung medications, medicines, vaccines, and feeds, kung ano man yung ginagamit mo within your poultry farm, galing ito dito sa support service na to. So, yung proper infrastructure and equipment contribute to efficient farm operation. So, without this industry, without this service kasi, um, again, wala ring silbi kung maganda yung nutrition, maganda yung biosecurity. If you do not provide them with the proper facility, with the proper housing condition, wala ring mangyayari sa yung hindi rin magiging productive yung mga poultries natin. So, typically, suppliers may also offer installation, maintenance, and technical support services sa mga equipment na binibili mo. And then, poultry processing and marketing. So, itong services naman na to, itong sub-industry naman na ito, usually they are involved sa pag-process ng mga product. So, sa slaughtering ng mga chickens, dressing, packaging, and distributing poultry meat and eggs, sila yung responsible doon. So, itong mga processing plants natin adhere to food safety standards that will ensure na maganda yung quality and hygienic yung mga products na kinukonsume natin. And then, this sector also includes both fresh and value-added products such as yung mga frozen chicken, marinated cuts, eggs, and ready-to-cook meals. Marketing focuses on product branding, distribution, strategies, and connecting poultry producers to local and international markets. So without this, mahihirapan kang mag-value add, mag-add ng value sa mga product mo, and without these marketing services, mahihirapan ka na ibenta yung mga products mo. And then we also have research and development in poultry production. So, ito namang mga ito, they usually are the ones that will look into innovations. Look for parang they will research on yung mga new technologies natin in order to improve poultry genetics, nutrition, disease resistance, and overall production efficiency. So without this, hindi aabot sa punto na yung isang broiler chicken for 21 days only, pwede mo nang ibenta. Without research and development, hindi yun mangyayari. That is because of research, that is because of constant innovation within the industry na 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 naging common na 21 days. Kasi nga yung noon, yung tawag sa broiler chicken actually is 45 days. Because typically, you need 45 days to reach market weight. Noon yon 45 days. Ngayon, 21 to 28 days, the chicken can actually reach its market weight. So, makikita yung yung improvement doon. So without research and development, hindi 'yun mangyayari. So in the near future, with constant research, uh, uh, with constant continuous innovation, baka hindi na lang 21 days, baka 15 days na lang, pwede nang ibenta. So ganon yung mangyayari. So, yung mga research institutions, like for example, yung mga state universities, mga private companies are actually also doing mga research and development na ano nila. They conduct studies on breeding innovations, vaccine development, and feed formulation and sustainable farming practices. And all of this will lead to a more productive poultry species. So, Yung mga advances in biotechnology, automation, and data analytics also play a role in optimizing poultry production system, and eventually it will lead to a more sustainable production, poultry production. So, yun yung mga various support services natin. Ano ba yung importance ng mga various support services natin? Without them, the poultry industry as a whole will crumble. Hindi yan magiging viable. So, saan ka ba kukuha ng feeds kung wala yung feed industry? Saan ka kukuha ng services when it comes to biosecurity, when it comes to medicine, when it comes to vaccination, kung wala yung mga yung veterinary industry natin? So, saan ka kukuha ng feeders and waterers kung wala itong mga equipment services natin? Mga ganun. So, they are equally important. All of them, wala yung mas importante, kumbaga. Lahat sila importante para maging viable, maging successful yung poultry industry. Okay? So, yun yung mga natin, fields in poultry industry. Um, so with that, that ends our first video lecture. So I hope na kahit nandito ka pa, nakikinig. So kung nakikinig ka, then message me. Message mo poultry industry for you to have a bonus point. So again, thank you for listening.